here at home. NBC's Bree Jackson reports.
President Biden in Japan meeting with leaders of the world's largest economies as negotiators back home try to avoid an economic catastrophe.
Look, we're not there. We haven't agreed to anything yet, but I see the path that we could come to an agreement.
While overseas, the president is staying on top of debt limit talks, even leaving a G7 dinner early to get updates. On Thursday, Vice President Harris stressed what's at stake, echoing the administration's warning that a first-ever government default could spark a recession, cause the U.S. to lose millions of jobs, and damage the country's international reputation.
This does not have to be a crisis. Our position is clear and simple. Congress must act to prevent default.
One major sticking point, the GOP's plan to impose stronger work requirements for social safety net programs, like food stamps and housing assistance.
And so the ball is firmly in the court of the President of the United States and Senate Democrats to respond to what we've already done.
The president has to have the option to say, these things go too far. They are not acceptable. I'm not going to harm American families.
A growing number of Senate Democrats are signing on to this letter, calling on Mr. Biden to invoke the 14th Amendment. That would allow him to raise the debt ceiling without congressional authorization. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has warned that invoking the 14th Amendment could lead to a constitutional crisis. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, President Biden now saying this afternoon that he would support an international effort to train Ukrainian pilots in flying advanced fighters, including the F-16s. President Volodymyr Zelensky has pressed for Russia's superior air force. Several U.S. officials are saying that President Biden is now saying they are supporting the international effort. They say they would discuss in the coming months how to supply Kyiv with the jets themselves. President Biden is reversing course on this because he was reluctant to provide Ukraine with any major weapons systems. So we're hearing also Secretary of State Antony Blinken was a driving force behind this decision. That is the latest in the war with Russia and Ukraine.
A traffic alert in Raleigh this weekend. Some major road closures could jam drivers around the fairgrounds and PNC Arena. WRAL's Brian Schrader has alternate routes that could save you time and hassle.